It's Uruguay and Bolivia in Copa America action Thursday, June 27th at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. La Celeste versus La Verde, with the odds making Uruguay just humongous favorites here at minus 700. The draw plus 700. And for Bolivia to pull an unlikely upset, 16-1 plus 1600 odds. Uruguay played Panama on Matchday 1. Uruguay in the first half scored early from Maximilio Araujo in the 16th minute. Panama came out much stronger in the second half. They did have some chances. No goals until late in that game. Uruguay scored late themselves. Darwin Nunez in the 85th and Matias Vina in the 91st. But Panama did get a consolation late in that game in the 94th minute to make the game 3-1 Uruguay. The stats, all Uruguay's favor, 19-9. Shots on target, 8-3. Corners, 9-3. Possession, 53%. XG, 1.68 to 0.56. Bolivia, they lost 2-0 to USA, but that score could have been much, much worse if not for a little bit better USA finishing. They now have just one win across their last 31 Copa America games going back over a number of years, and they've lost 13 straight in the tournament as well. Not surprisingly, all the stats in Bolivia's game versus USA were in the US's favor. Shots 18-7, shots on target 8-3, corners 7-1, 62% possession. USA XG 2.32 to 0.13. Now in November, in World Cup qualifying, Uruguay did already beat Bolivia 3-0. They've also won 5 of the last 6 meetings. Uruguay has scored multiple goals in 8 of the past 10 games versus Bolivia as well. And there's lots of scoring in this matchup no matter who wins. If we look at past score lines, we see a 3-0, 3-0, 4-2, 2-0, 4-2, 2-0, 4-1, 4-2, 2-2, and 5-0. So lots of goals usually when these teams meet up. Bolivia, they're one of the weakest teams though right now in South America in World Cup qualifying. They're 1-0-5. They've been outscored 14-4. They're 9th out of 10 teams. They have a negative 10 goal differential, and that's the worst in the CONMEBOL qualifying. Overall in all matches, not just counting World Cup qualifying, Bolivia have just 3 wins in their past 23 games in all competitions. They've conceded in 20 of 23, given up multiple goals in 14 of 23, and they've been shut out in 13 of 23. For Uruguay, they're 6 games into qualifying, just like everybody else, and they are second only behind Argentina for 1-1. They are the highest scorers in the group right now with 14 goals. In 6 games, nobody else has more than 8. Uruguay's recent form sees them with just 2 wins in 5, but they are 10-4-2 if you go back further. Now, failing to score against Costa Rica in May friendlies is the only time they've not scored in their last 16 games, so they will surely get on the score sheet here against Bolivia. The question really is just how many times will they get on the score sheet? It looks like 2, 3, maybe 4. But I mean, these tournament games are, maybe tighter sometimes than you might think. Let's look at a few different options. Uruguay to win by 2. Even that, obviously a Uruguay win, minus 700, can't do much with that. Uruguay to win by 2, possible parlay piece, minus 223. Uruguay minus 2, so if they win by 2, you get a push. If they win by 3, you get the win, minus 143, a little bit more manageable. Uruguay to win by 3, you see a 3-0 or 4-1 or 4-0. That could be plus 115 odds. That's certainly an option as well. If we want to attack this from some different angles, you could look at Uruguay halftime, full-time to be leading at half and at the end. That, though, also maybe just a parlay piece, minus 188. Uruguay halftime, full-time, plus to score 2 or more goals, minus 163. Uruguay halftime, full-time, plus to score 3 or more goals comes in at plus 105. Those are all a few different options just to give you some things to think about here. Now, you certainly could consider these halftime, full-time type of bets. Marcelo Bielsa likes to attack, and Uruguay had 11 shots, 4 shots on target in the opening 20 minutes alone in their last game. Bolivia, meanwhile, conceded a goal in the opening 5 minutes, now in back-to-back games as well. You could see Nunez getting some shots in this game as part of a same-game parlay. He had 5 last game. So factor all those things in together. I'm going to create one same-game parlay here with some of those options. Let's go Uruguay halftime, full-time, plus Uruguay to score 2 or more, Uruguay to have the most shots, Uruguay to have the most corners. That would come in at minus 105 odds over at Bet365. Be sure to check out Bet365 to get a great welcome offer if you're not betting there already. They have all kinds of great options to use in same-game parlays. And you can see the offers available at Bet365 and all kinds of books by going to signupexpert.com/shredthespread. Speaking of those corners in that same-game parlay, Uruguay just had 9 corners to Panama's 3. Bolivia was just out-cornered 7-1 by USA. If Uruguay comes out and wins this game by 2 or 3 goals, they will surely have the most shots and very likely the most corners as well. So that is my best bet between Uruguay and Bolivia. What do you like in this game? Share it down there in the comments. Give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to get more Copa America picks.